Planet Dolan. How was a live 200-pound alligator found in a basement in Illinois? Why are there more than 1,000 pieces of human bones found stashed in a secret compartment under the home of Benjamin Franklin? From strange mysteries to art projects to things that could explode, here are 15 of the scariest things ever found in a basement. I'm Danger Dolan, and today I will be your narrator.
Number 15.
A town by the name of Hannibal, Missouri is probably one of the most sensible places you could possibly find human body parts in jars. But in the basement of one particular building, it wasn't body parts that were found, it was 2 jars with human fetuses. Rumors were that the basement of the home was used as an underground abortion clinic in the early 1900s.
Number 14.
A termite inspector in Toluca, Illinois didn't find termites, but he did find something that would have probably damaged the house's foundation. Not only was there a World War II era anti-tank grenade sitting in the basement, but it was perched on top of a beam on the ceiling. The home sat right next to a set of freight train tracks, and yet somehow, years of the house shaking from passing trains never dislodged the explosive before it could be disposed of properly.
Number 13.
A drunken exploration of a crawl space in the basement yielded an odd result, a strange black duffel bag. The finder and his friends checked inside the bag and found 2 black ski masks, a single black leather glove, and a large hunting knife with a broken handle. They reported the find to the police, but the police had no interest, so they just burned the bag.
Number 12.
In May 2013, Ariel Castro of Cleveland, Ohio, was arrested for keeping 3 women in his basement as sex slaves. He kidnapped all 3 of them between the ages of 14 and 20, kept them prisoner for 10 years. Upon his arrest, he was found guilty and sent to prison with a sentence of more than 1,000 years. He committed suicide a month into his sentence.
Number 11.
One of the most dangerous basements in the world was in a small town in Pennsylvania back in 1990. The basement of an otherwise completely normal home was filled with dangerous chemicals that went undiscovered until its owner passed away. Among the findings was more than a gallon of unstable picric acid. So this acid is poisonous and also highly explosive. That amount would have the power of about 17 pounds of TNT. Also, the chemicals had crystallized, meaning they could have exploded even with the slightest impact.
Number 10.
Somebody had an estate sale and found this in the basement. For some reason, they decided to try selling it instead of just burning it immediately. Or maybe they did burn it, and it just came out looking like this. Either way, creepy.
Number 9.
There's certain places you just don't expect to find an alligator. In a Florida swamp, of course there's alligators there, but in some guy's basement in Illinois, local authorities say that's actually pretty common, because despite it being against the law, people apparently want to keep alligators as pets. This one was 6 feet long, 200 pounds, had been living in that basement for 26 years.
Number 8.
A leased home near Ohio State University had an odd locked room in the basement. Everyone just kind of thought it was a utility closet, so they left it alone. But maintenance workers needed to get in the room, ended up having to knock the door down. What they found wasn't a utility closet, but a fully furnished bedroom with books and framed photos. They left a note for the guy living there, a man named Jeremy, and he moved out of the room without a fight.
Number 7.
In 2003, a woman finally decided to do some long-needed repairs on her home, which was more than 100 years old. As construction crews began to dig up the home's foundation, a human skull came up with one of the scoops of dirt. A bunch more body parts started coming up after that because it turned out the entire house had been built on a historical burial ground. The burial ground had been moved, but it was common practice to move only the prominent citizens with headstones and leave the rest. This house was built on the rest.
Number 6.
This is the scene of an upscale restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona. The restaurant isn't shut down or creepy or anything, this just happens to be in its basement. Apparently, it is one of several pieces by a local artist. Whether it's supposed to be a creepy, dull version of The Last Supper is up for debate.
Number 5.
You'd never know by looking at it, but this photo commemorates the merger of the University of Louisville and Medical College University in 1908. Apparently, between 1880 and 1930, it was fairly common practice for medical students to pose with the cadavers they dissected. So this is likely what that is. Something like that, maybe.
Number 4.
Decades ago, it was common for homes to have a coal bin in their basements, as coal was a popular method of heating homes. But one person found their coal bin had an attached crawl space, which they decided to investigate. The findings included some old pieces of clothing, couple of tools, 2 splintered pieces of what might be a femur. Of what sort of creature? Nobody knows.
Number 3.
Gloria Gomez was really excited when her initial search for 3 really old trunks turned up some old doctor satchels and an old copy of Peter Pan. She was considerably less excited when she searched further and found the mummified remains of 2 babies. Police said it was likely the babies had died decades ago. They appeared to be either newborn, miscarried, or aborted.
Number 2.
In 2006, a London orphanage unsealed its basement, found thousands of bizarre artifacts and skeletons, many of which appeared to belong to mythical creatures. Or at least that's how the story went. The whole thing was just a viral marketing campaign to promote some guy's creepy art. But even if the story behind it's fake, the art's still pretty cool.
Number 1.
For 2 decades before the events leading up to the American Revolution, Benjamin Franklin lived in London. In 2016, the town home turned museum underwent renovations, which turned up a small pit in Franklin's windowless basement. Inside the pit was approximately 1,200 pieces of human bones, belonging to at least 10 different people, 6 of them children. The story behind the bones wasn't that Franklin was a mass murderer though. His good friend William Hewson was studying anatomy at the time, and studying dead bodies was still largely illegal. So most likely Hewson was sneaking dead bodies in, studying them, and dumping them in the pit, likely with Franklin's permission. Check out the latest DOLAN KART update, Nixiumville, a new character, heaps of new skins, a new power-up, new level, daily missions, and offline mode. Download from the Android or iOS App Store and start racing today for free. That is it for this countdown. Have a good one!